Hello, I'm Beth the Builder, and this week I'm building a bench from this scavenged pallet. I have a plan for how I want it to look, but first I have to tear this pallet apart. So let's do that. So I have my pallet all torn apart, and now I'm going to make my first cuts to make my legs and the general frame. And then we'll kind of get to piecing it together. Of course, with scavenged wood, especially pallet wood, like you're gonna end up with some funky pieces with like big cracks in it or big knots or holes. You're gonna end up probably snapping a few pieces in the process of taking it apart. But yeah, like you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. This is free wood, so that's like the best kind of wood. And this is just a bench to literally sit outside by our garden. So it's nothing super fancy. It doesn't need to be perfect by any means. And I kind of like the way scavenged wood looks. I think it's a little bit more interesting than just like all brand new wood. It's also 100 times cheaper because, as anybody knows who's doing DIY projects right now, wood has been incredibly expensive. So I'm gonna make my first cuts with these, trimming some weird like cracked ends and stuff like that. And then yeah, I'll show you how I'm gonna piece it together. Okay, so I have cut the initial pieces. This long piece will be my back leg, my front leg. This will make part of the seat where I'll run slats from one side to the other. And then this is just a scrap piece of wood that I cut for a nice little brace right there. So I'm going to start nailing this together, and then I'm also going to create a diagonal piece from this front leg to the back leg for both sides to really increase the strength, because that's going to be a weak area there. Yeah, so that's going to be the side, and then everything else is just big long slats for the back and the seat. So pretty basic. You know, the basic structure of something like this is very, very simple. Alrighty, I'm going to start nailing this together and we'll go from there. So I have one side put together, so I'm going to do the other one, and then it'll really start coming together. Okay, so I have my other side put together. This is super basic stuff. You know, I didn't invent this, okay? It's literally a giant H with a brace in the middle here. So it's super simple. None of this wood's super nice. So yeah, literally, if you have a hammer, if you have a saw and a drill, I mean, you can even get away without a drill and like just hammer the f out of those nails rather than doing pilot holes for the nails. The only benefit is because this is reclaimed scavenged wood, there are some cracks, and putting pilot holes is really going to prevent any cracks that you may or may not see from getting worse. But definitely, you know, you can get away with literally just doing this with a saw and a hammer. You do not need a bunch of fancy tools. You don't need fancy wood. This bench is gonna sit outside, so it's gonna get the job done. And guess what? People are gonna be impressed by it. They're gonna be like, you built a bench? That's cool. I mean, or something. Maybe your friends aren't hipster surfers, but I mean, if you could sit on it at the end and it's not splintery and terrible, it seems like a successful bench. Really, all a bench needs to do is allow you to sit on it. So, yeah. All right, so, okay, I'm gonna start putting together the seat. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. See, like, some of this stuff, you don't need to have like some like super intricate plan, okay? You can just kind of like, well, I know I need a seat and I need a back and I need legs. So how can I get there? Pretty simple. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking for the seat. I'm thinking to use 4 boards for that, and then use some scavenged pieces for the back. And I want to use the best pieces for the seat because that's gonna, you know, hold weight. The nice thing about using one full pallet is like kind of everything's cut to the same size. So all of these pieces, I don't have to cut them at all. They're just all like whatever, 3.5, 4 feet long, which is perfect because that's like exactly what I wanted my bench to be. I will end up putting a structural piece in the middle and then probably another leg just for added support. But let's do the seat first and then we'll kind of go from there. So in case you've ever considered getting folding sawhorses, don't. They're garbage. They are stupid, stupid sawhorses. I hate them. I mean, I got mine on like a garage sale, so one of the brackets that folds in and out was kind of broken, but they're floppy and fragile and they fold up unexpectedly, and see, like that one's falling over. The top, like there's not like a big piece on top. I don't know. I hate them. They're stupid sawhorses. Ugh. Freaking sawhorses. Useless. Okay, so I quickly tacked together a middle piece to support the seat and etc. just for added strength. So I'm going to install the boards for the seat and then I'll probably do the back. So, alrighty, let's do that. Okay, so I have a seat, I have a back, I've got legs. So the last thing that I needed to cut were braces for the legs here. One is like a 2x4 piece, and then the other is like a 1x2 because this was the last piece of this I had. So I wanted to use it for this because it's a very solid, thick piece of wood. Right now would probably be a good time to like and subscribe because I'm not yet finished, but you've seen a lot. So alrighty, I have my braces installed. I'm gonna end up staining my bench with my dark walnut stain and finish because it's my favorite, but you could paint it or leave it raw wood, whatever you want to do. If you want to support me very directly, you can find my PayPal and my Etsy account, which are in the description below. Otherwise, you know, just keep watching because like that means a crap load to me and I really appreciate it. I am going to get to staining this, but like always, I'll see you next week.